9:16. It's the morning show with Jeff and Will on AM 1700 WRCR Haverstraw, WRCR.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you are here because now we've got a business update with and a news coverage update in general from one of the other editors around the county, around the town. We like to get perspectives from. It is Tina Traster from rcbizjournal.com. Hey, Tina, how you doing?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Rockland County.
Say good morning. Will's here, too. Say good morning to him.
Morning, Will.
Morning, Tina.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm dandy. Let's jump in, shall we?
We shall. So,
last Thursday, in the village of Nyack, a group of citizen activists came to the village and very, heatedly, passionately asked for the village to vote on a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, prior to the meeting, the Mayor Joe Rand, who's just taken the reins, as we know, in January, had written on the Facebook page that he moderates, We Love Nyack, quote, I want to explain why I will not support a resolution for the Nyack Village Board to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. Simply put, as a matter of principle, I do not believe it's appropriate for the Board of Trustees to pass resolutions on issues that are not within the mandate we have to manage the affairs of the village of Nyack. He put that out there. So when this, about a dozen people or so who stood up with impassioned pleas, maybe half of them were actually from Nyack. After more than an hour of testimony from people who had, feeling on both sides that yes, the village should pass a resolution and no, that the village should not pass a resolution for different reasons, Rand reiterated his position, which was unofficially seconded by Trustee Joe Carlin and loosely agreed upon amongst the remaining three members of the board. What did come out of this exercise was that the board did say that there's probably more that they could do, more that the village can do to foster conversation, dialogue, to try to bridge the gap, bring people together. Maybe one suggestion was to find a way to break fast over Ramadan. And I think it was really, the reason that we wrote about, we prefaced the event and, we prefaced what happened that night, and then we have a column from Ari Rosenblum from Jewish Federation writing about this. And the reason we felt that it was important to write about this was really, I guess, twofold. One, I think that Joe Rand's statement about what is the purview of village government or town government, I think that's really worth reflecting on. Some of the people who stood up and spoke mentioned that these resolutions had been passed in Albany and Newburgh, and that's fine, but it is a slippery slope. In terms of when, what is the reach, of a village. So I just wanted to put that out there. The essay is on our site, and, if people have some thoughts about that or if they want to be heard, we mention in the piece that we listen to voices across all stripes. Moving along, unless you have anything to respond to.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this out there as part of the discussion. I understand why you would want to, I see, put your flag in the ground on one side or the other, I suppose. But if I'm a resident of the village of Nyack, which I am not, I can understand. I'd hate to see my village spending its time doing something of international import when they could be fixing potholes or curing parking issues or dealing with building codes or housing issues within the village that actually they were hired to do. So I understand where he's coming from, that's not within his purview per se. So yes. I can understand that.
Yes, right. So that's why I thought it was, it really kind of, I think, speaks to the question of, the boundaries of governance. Moving on to something else that we reported on last week, and that was the groundwater contamination found at the redeveloped Thruway Plaza site in Nanuet, where now a brownfield cleanup is going to be necessary. This is a little bit mind head scratching, but the background story here is that Thruway Plaza in Nanuet has applied to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation's Brownfield Cleanup Program to remediate chlorinated solvents and petroleum products in the groundwater at the site. It's pretty plainly clear that the source of the groundwater pollution was a dry cleaning facility that had operated from 92 to 2013. That was on about 1,700 square feet of space in the shopping center, and it was operated by a successive number of dry cleaners. I don't know if they were owned by the same people and had different names or if it was different ownership. Anyhow, the potential environmental issues left behind by the dry cleaning operation, and this is the head-scratching part of this, seemingly were not raised during the town of Clarkstown's planning board and town board meetings when Thruway Plaza sought permission to demolish the existing shopping center and redevelop the property. Can't understand how that happened. The brownfield is a small piece of land, and it's not actually where the now new storage facility is slated for. You may recall that originally, in addition to a quick check, there was going to be a hotel there, and then that was rescinded, and then they came back to the planning board and they got approvals to put another storage facility. I say another just because we have a lot in the county. So this little piece of land is separate from that, but groundwater doesn't stay right under a building or under a piece of land. Water moves. So like I said, the strip center was demolished in 2022 to make way for this redevelopment, and now basically they have to go in there and deal with this contamination. And so that's a bit strange that this never came up. Seemingly, we looked at the planning board minutes, and it seems that this was never discussed at a planning board meeting when they were coming in to seek approvals. Sort of as per usual, the only mitigation the planning board addressed were traffic issues on the site. So I haven't heard any response to why this took place, but it is I think a little bit disturbing. And I don't know if you have any thoughts about that. Anybody wants to weigh in there before we move on to the next thing?
No, let's move on before we run out of time. We do have a show coming up at 9:30.
Okay. So I just actually I wanted to mention that as you probably, maybe you already know, maybe you've read our story, but so there's a Popeyes being eyed for the where the shops of Nanuet are, where what's it called? The big home store, very close to that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the at-home,
right.
Right near the at-home, a Popeyes is being proposed for there.
So, but it'll be within the shops in Nanuet.
It's actually not the shops at Nanuet. It's the part of the land that's owned by the same people who own the home, the at-home. Which is not, it's not actually the shops at Nanuet.
So is it that strip mall behind where the movie theater used to be and all that on the
it's on that side.
Oh, okay, right.
It's on that side. So
okay.
I'm expecting that to just kind of fly through. And of course, we know that Macy's is planning to close 150 stores nationwide. And for now, the Macy's in the mall, I guess, is safe. But they're really, really looking for a transformation for much smaller footprints and a whole different kind of format. And I think that's something that we're going to have to watch. And before my time runs out, I want to make sure that I just want to sort of pay tribute to the life and the work of Nancy Phillips, who passed last week. Jeffy, I don't know if you knew her, but she was from here in Nyack, and she worked. She did a lot of the marketing for Visit Nyack, and she was a consummate marketing professional, and she really was amazing at what she did. But more importantly, much more importantly, she was an amazing person.
You're mentioning the name. I do know of her. Yeah, we used to go back and forth from time to time about that. She passed away last week. I'm very sad to hear that.
She did. She had a battle, with cancer, and she passed away. And I'm just genuinely saddened. There will be a memorial for her. We put up. Actually, we did put up an obit on her. March 10th on Sunday at the Nyack Memorial, Nyack Center, from 11 to 2. There's going to be a celebration of life for her. So, if you want to come down and honor her life, she was a great lady. She was not only a professional colleague, but she had turned into a friend, and she will be missed.
What else did she do? I mean, from what I know of her, my connection to her is the publicity she did for the Nyack Village of Nyack, and the Chamber of Commerce and such, some of their activities. So what else? What did she? How did she start in that business? What did she do? Do you know?
Yeah, you know what? In the obit that we published on her, it gives a short summary of her career. She had a really substantial career. So take a look at the piece online on our site, rcbizjournal.com, and you can see what her background was. But she was really a standout, and I think really elevated Visit Nyack with her marketing talent. So, but like I said, more importantly she was a really good person. Not so easy to come by these days.
Yeah,
really,
the Lord knows the world needs more of that. Thank you so much, Tina, for joining us as always. We will talk to you again next Monday. For those of you who haven't done it already, get some knowledge in your mailbox delivered every morning via email. Go to rcbizjournal.com, sign up for the newsletters, and check out all the news she's got there. Thanks, Tina.
Thanks. Talk to you next week. Bye.